I'm a G like Ali. I'm in the alley while I'm in Cali. And I'm in my body. I don't sit quicker than whipping a rally. I leave a man red like carry. Where am I Batman carry, you know? Ain't nobody to get know what it's for. No, key to key, I'm a bro.
Welcome to WWE Evolve on Tubi. I'm Peter Rosenberg alongside Robert Stone. This is where pro wrestling evolves, and we have a stacked show tonight, including a double main event.
Yeah, and one half of that double main event is Joe Coffey one-on-one with Harlan Lewis.
What a slugfest between two massive heavy hitters. I cannot wait for that one.
And of course, in the other half of our double main event, we'll find out if Kylie Rae can overcome her fear against the bizarre Wendy Choo.
And after they exchanged words last week, Keanu Carver one-on-one with Luca Kusafini.
And later on tonight, two of our brightest young stars in the women's division will finally come together when Danny Palmer and Callie Armstrong face off. But first, we have this.
Your opening contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first from Roseville, California, Burnley Reese!
Oh yeah!
You're excited. Let's take a better look at Brinley Reese.
It's the fitness freak, the exercise guru, the woman who wants to help the world be fit. It is Brinley Reese.
There's more to Brinley Reese than what you've seen so far on NXT.
Are you kidding me? Did you see that? That's the Bryn active mindset.
What did it mean when you screamed out, "It should have been me"? What was that all about?
I remember saying that, but I mean, I think that match speaks for itself.
Are you clapping?
I am clapping. My favorite theme music in Evolve. I just want to get up and do squats. I want to go down and do push-ups. She's here.
You are so weird, but your Brinergy is remarkable.
From a place you can't afford, the real deal, Zeta Steel!
And there she is, the real deal, Zeta Steel. Listen, this is one of the most exciting young women in all of WWE Evolve.
This is a big debut right here.
Absolutely. In fact, the first ever WWE ID signee. Let's take a look at Zeta Steel.
My name is the real deal Zeta Steel. Every week I get to have my hair and makeup done, ready to steal the show, no pun intended.
What the hell? Why am I not in the ring? Do you know who I am?
The real deal Zeta Steel and the word inaugural go hand in hand. I was the first WWE ID prospect. I've wrestled men, women, been in hardcore matches. I'm not afraid of anything. Give it to me. I'm ready for it all.
Let's get this thing going. Brinley Reese and Zeta Steel to kick things off on WWE Evolve on Tubi. I'm excited for this one, Robert.
Yeah, I mean, Zeta's been waiting to make her debut. I mean, she's feisty. She's got a loud mouth. She's got no filter, and she's finally in-ring competition.
And she wants you to shut up.
Pretty sure she was talking to you, Peter. She's arrogant, she's spoiled, and she's upset it's taken this long for her to be able to make this debut. She wanted to be on the first ever episode.
Well, listen, I understand that. So did a lot of people. So that means she must be taking this match seriously and trying to prove something in there with Brinley Reese tonight.
Yeah, and that's going to be hard when you're going up against the fitness freak, the exercise guru, the woman who wants to help the world be fit from sunny Roseville, California. As you can see, I know a lot about her, and I like her a lot, but I'm a fan.
Ah, well, somebody else who might be a fan currently in the VIP section. There's Jackson Drake. We haven't seen him in a couple of weeks here on WWE Evolve.
Well, Zeta Steel with a smack to the face.
She's cocky. I mean, you got to give her that. She's not minding it.
Oof. A lot of buzz around the real deal, Zeta Steel. And now, two can play at that game as she eats a slap. And Brinley Reese showing some of that athletic ability you mentioned earlier, Robert. And some of the power as well.
Yeah, she's got power. She's a super athlete. She was the head cheer captain of her team for 16 years. The kind of shape that cheerleaders are in, especially on the level she was at, is on another level.
I admittedly don't know anything about being in shape like that.
You certainly don't. That's the smartest thing you ever said.
Thank you. I'm nothing if not honest. Zeta Steele, though, her own impressive track record. Wow. Look at that move from Brindley. 2! And a kick out from Zeta Steele. Zeta absolutely in love with this business, has wanted to be a pro wrestler since the age of 12 when she was a kid growing up in Virginia.
Yeah, and you know, even at 12, when she told her parents that she wanted to do this for a living, she was happy to get kicked out of the house. She didn't know if she would have a place to live after she told them. She took that risk, but they let her stay. So here she is.
As you see, the brutality from Zeta Steele. She does not care. Big slap from Zeta Steele. European uppercut, elbow.
Well, she learned this rough and tough style from her time in Japan. A bunch of successful tours there. You got to remember, she's impressive. She's only been doing this for 2.5 years. 2.5 years since the first day she stepped in a wrestling school. Think about that.
A lot of pressure, though, Robert.
Oof, that's under 1,000 days, Peter.
That's unbelievable, but also being the first signee in this program brings a lot of pressure, doesn't it?
Yeah, it brings a lot of pressure, but I feel like she's someone who excels with pressure.
Brindley Reese with a forearm to the cheek. Oh, but catches a boot to the back of the head for her troubles. And, oh, wow. Wow, innovative move there from Zeta Steele. She goes for the pin. 1, 2, and a kick out from Brindley Reese.
Brindley not looking good right now. She's got to figure something out because you got to remember, she came into this match with momentum. All right, her first Evolve match, she was victorious. She certainly wants to make that number 2. She wants to keep climbing up the ranks of Evolve. She wants to be the face of the women's division in Evolve, and getting a win here could lead her there. Power!
And there you see the power from Brindley Reese. Different styles, more power on the side of Brindley, but there is a ferociousness about Zeta Steele. Like I said earlier, love her, hate her, it doesn't matter. She has a certain ferociousness. And they're going back and forth right now. Big kick from the corner from Brindley Reese.
It's the Bryn Active mindset. She never dies. She stays alive. She keeps fighting. Oh! Big shoulder tackle, baby.
Bryn Active?
Bryn Active. The body achieves what the mind believes. She believes in herself. Big time.
Wow, a lot of power there from Brindley Reese. She's getting the crowd into it, and she's looking to finish this thing and get a singles W on WWE Evolve.
And look, and now you're trying to get on the bandwagon with her.
Oh! The buckshot lariat. 2, and a kick out on 2.
Zeta is gonna keep fighting. She is not gonna go down this easy. She does not want to lose her debut here. She's wanted it for too long.
She's not done going to work. She's
picking her up. She's going for Breeses to pieces. Didn't grab it.
See, but there's Zeta doing anything to get it done. It's not pretty, but she gets a pin. 2, and a kick out. You see what I mean, though? It wasn't pretty there, but it was innovative from Zeta, not letting the match get away from her.
Doesn't have to be pretty.
That's right.
It has to work. Breeses to pieces.
That could be it for Zeta Steele. Brindley's going for the pin. 1, 2, 3.
Here is your winner, Brindley Reese.
You're clapping again.
And why wouldn't I be? What a victory.
Taking a look back here at this somersault clothesline, right on the money, and then into Breeses to pieces. Brindley Reese gets it done and scored a massive win over the real deal Zeta Steele.
And there you see Brindley Reese standing tall, a big win on WWE Evolve. Oh, and look who it is.
Party's here! Party's here!
Oh, calm down. They're not here for you. They're here to check on Zeta.
Good guys. Look at them. They're checking out on their friend Zeta. Man, what can't these guys do? They have big hearts.
I'll tell you what, Zeta Steele has to find new friends.
Party's here!
The party's here, and the party's exchanging words with Jackson Drake there in VIP as Zeta getting swiped right back to the locker room.
I mean, come on, that is not cool, Peter.
Hey, Kylie, what's up? How are we feeling?
How am I feeling?
Yeah.
I'm trying to stay calm. I'm doing my breathing exercises.
I hear ya. The stuff with Wendy last week, a little freaky, huh? Oh, no, my fault. Let's breathe again. Okay, ready? And out. Good. To be honest, if it happened to me last week, I'd freak out too. But you gotta look fear in the eyes, you gotta focus, and you gotta overcome it, okay?
Wendy choose my fear. I don't want to look her in the eyes. I don't want to look at her at all.
No. Nonsense. You're Kylie Ray. You're a competitor. You're a fighter. And what do fighters do?
Fighters fight. Fighters fight.
Fighters fight. Exactly. So you gotta believe in yourself, Kylie.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try.
Don't try.
But it's gonna be hard, but I'm gonna try.
Don't try. Do.
I'm gonna do.
Do. You
Thank
got
you, Zara.
it. You got it. Go kill it out there, okay?
Wish me luck.
Good luck. You got this.
And of course, Wendy Choo in action against Kylie Ray. And I am excited for this one, Robert Stone. Coming up next, the big boys are in action. Keanu Carver and Luca Crucifino is next.
This April, Las Vegas has never had a show like this.
I've been focused on the future, never right now.
Welcome to WrestleMania!
What happens here becomes legendary.
WrestleMania from Las Vegas.
Here comes the big man, Keanu Carver.
My name is Keanu Carver, and I didn't grow up like the rest of the people in this building.
I grew up on the street throwing hands on the concrete. Ain't no man in this company gonna hunt me.
Anytime, any place, Keanu is always ready for this.
I think I could be the face of this company in the future, and I will be for sure.
This man is impressive. This man is imposing.
The dude is a beast.
I'm gonna put the fear of God in every man in this building.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first from Washington, D.C., weighing 290 pounds, Keanu Carver!
Well, if this is your first time with us on WWE Evolve, you may not be familiar with the work of Keanu Carver. I assure you, you will become familiar with this man. He is a beast. Let's take a look at who he's facing tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, my name is Luca Crucifino, consigliere to Tony D'Angelo and the D'Angelo family in NXT. Tony D'Angelo gave me his blessing to come to WWE Evolve and push the influence of the family on this show.
Day in and day out, this guy is at the Performance Center. The first one there, the last one to leave.
I'm here to make a statement. I'm here to make a name for myself.
Luca Crucifino runs things on Evolve. I'm here to make sure everyone falls in line and that everyone knows that whatever happens here, Luca Crucifino knows about it.
And his opponent from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, weighing 246 pounds, representing the D'Angelo family, Luca Crucifino!
I gotta tell you, I like the cut of this guy's jib. I like Luca Crucifino, the consigliere.
Hey, you're not even saying it right. It's the consigliere. Come on.
Every time.
Consigliere.
You have to stop. Just because you're from New Jersey doesn't mean you can pull that off.
Saying it the way you're saying it is not going to get you invited to Sunday dinner at Tony D's house.
Well, I will say, that would be a great time. And you mentioned Tony D. An important moment for Luca Crucifino to show the family, to show Tony D'Angelo that he is living up to the D'Angelo family name. But man, he's bit off a lot here, and he understands it. And that's why he's going right after Keanu Carver early. Isn't that the approach you have to have here?
Of course it is, because look, a good lawyer knows the law and a great lawyer knows the judge. Luca knows both.
He absolutely is the man when it comes to law. Can he be the man when it comes to beating a guy like Keanu Carver? Big boots to the gut.
I think what he needs to do is just not look in his eyes. Eyes are the windows to the soul. And let me tell you something, when you look in Keanu's eyes, it's a very scary thing.
Yeah, I don't, shoulder block. Keanu kind of getting beat up here by Luca Crucifino early on. Into the corner, Crucifino goes. I gotta say, this is a surprising start. And he's going for a pin early. 1, 2. Keanu Carver has a chance to absolutely wreck shop in Evolve. But think about it for Luca Crucifino. He's got to get a win to bring back to NXT and the family.
I mean, he's already got one. He wants number 2, but it's not going to be easy. Look at this.
Oh, my God.
Here it comes. I knew at some point it was coming. The manhandling. This dude is a beast. He is a savage. Hands down, cut from a different cloth.
Let's take a look at that again right now. You see him catch him in midair into that right hand. Unbelievable stuff. When you see someone like Keanu Carver, how high is the ceiling for this guy? Hold on! Flying forearm. Unbelievable, and he's going for a pin. 1, 2. And a kick out on 2 by Luca. Well, what do you think the ceiling is, though, for a Keanu Carver?
There is no ceiling. See, this is where I got to hold you off there for a second, Peter. I got to get my phone. I got to write a text right now to Ava, Adam Pearce, Nick Aldis, and I got to make sure they are seeing this and they got their eyes on Keanu. See, and then let me tell you that Keanu's very comfortable on the outside of the ring. It doesn't matter if it's inside, outside, in the locker room. He will fight you anywhere.
I hope you're paying attention. I'm doing this to anybody that step in the ring with me.
My God.
You hear that? Stevie, I hope you're paying attention, and I hope she is. I hope that scared her.
You mentioned that earlier, that you wouldn't look in his eyes, and I thought you were just being weird, but now I see what you're saying. Those eyes are scary, man.
I mean, think about it. He was the defensive tackle at Temple University. Think about lining up against him on the football field and looking at his eyes through that helmet. Come on.
And I'll tell you what, Luca Crucifino, he is dreaming about Sunday dinner right now, all right? He is thinking about...
It can't come soon enough.
I know. He is stuck on a Wednesday with Keanu Carver. All he wants to be having is some eggplant parm 4 days from now, but that's a long way away. Oh, man. And you have to imagine Tony D is watching this at home. Big right hand. Right forearm, I should say, from Keanu Carver.
Another right forearm like that. I don't know if he's even going to be able to eat Sunday dinner with a broken
Hold on.
jaw.
Okay. Another flying forearm from Keanu. The athleticism for a man that big.
And just he's just taking his time. He's just going slow, just going about, having a nice day. It doesn't even look like he's working hard.
You mix that speed and the momentum with that size and that power. And Keanu Carver, you said it, there is no ceiling. He could be a WWE World Champion one day.
Luca's trying to get some momentum right here. Can he? Wasn't going to be easy to get the big man up.
It's an accumulation of punishment now that is taking a toll on Luca Crucifino. But Keanu Carver misses in the corner. That could be the break that Luca needs to get a breath.
It's a little opening, but it's going to take a lot more than that to get the big man down.
Couple of big flying rights. Let's see what Luca can muster. Shoulder tackle takes the big man down, at least momentarily.
Samoan drop. Lawbreaker.
Hold on, after the lawbreaker. Big boot and the pin. 1, 2. I gotta tell you, I'm not sure Luca can get a better opportunity than that after hitting the lawbreaker.
He needs to keep moving.
You cannot give Keanu Carver any time right here.
Stay on him, Luca.
Looking for a suplex? No, that's just too much, man. Oh, no.
Pounce!
Oh, my God.
A pounce times 10.
That is too much, man. Keanu Carver lays out Luca, goes for the pin. 2. Oh, Luca Crucifino kicking out. I did not expect that.
I mean, I'll give it to Luca. He's got fight left in him. He's not giving up, man.
Win, lose, or draw. That's got to impress Tony D. Any normal man would be done. And my guess is he will be here. The pin, 2, 3.
Here's your winner, Keanu Carver.
All right, looking back on a very competitive match now, we saw Luca Crucifino bringing it to Keanu Carver like no one has yet in Evolve. Almost, dare I say, matching the power for a few moments in this matchup. But the pounce, good Lord. And then the slam for the 1, 2, 3. And Keanu takes another step in his ascension here in Evolve.
Oh yeah? What's up with that champions in there? I'm coming for everybody.
Keanu Carver coming for everybody, and everybody should be rightfully concerned. But still to come tonight, things are about to get heated, and I am here for it. Danny Palmer and Callie Armstrong will try to settle their differences in an explosive WWE Evolve face-off.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first from Sarasota, Florida, Chantel Monroe.
Chantel Monroe, the debutante.
The show-stopping diva, SSD, the reflection of perfection. Look at her. She is so happy to be here. She is feeling fly. She's looking fly, and she is ready to get another win in Evolve.
I don't like you using the word fly.
What do you mean?
It just doesn't feel right.
It feels right to me.
You
Who
say,
are you to judge what vocabulary I
I'm a big vocabulary judger. You say fly in your regular life?
I do.
All right, I'm gonna pay attention to that.
I'm feeling fly.
I'm feeling fly. Exactly.
And her opponent from Stockbridge, Georgia, Mason Holiday.
Mason Holiday, a very, very unique wrestler. Proud HBCU grad. Has said she always wants to make her HBCU fellow alum proud, and that's what she plans to do tonight in there with Chantel Monroe.
Yeah, and she also wants to paint her own canvas here in Evolve, but let me tell you something about artists, because she has an artist background. Artists are they're just children who refuse to put their crayons down, okay? So she's just a child, and she's in there with a woman, Chantel Monroe.
It's an interesting take on art.
Think of the last artist we had in the WWE, Dexter Lumis. I mean, you saw how that worked out. That dude's a freak.
Fair enough.
Hey.
Chantel going to work early on Mason.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
Chantel having some fun in there, but it might not be so fun getting caught up as she now
well, that's not cool.
Is under the foot of Mason Holiday. By the way, proud graduate. I mentioned HBCUs. Again from the DC area, Howard University, the real HU.
Yeah. You know, it is what it is. She was the valedictorian there, super smart. But how smart is she to be in this match with Chantel?
I'm going to teach you a little trick, by the way, Rob.
Okay.
If you meet anyone from Howard, say it's the real HU. But if you meet anyone from Hampton, also say it's the real HU.
You're going over. You know, I went to K University. We talked about this.
I don't even think you went to an accredited college.
Look, Chantel is a diva. She's a perfectionist, and she's the best at her craft. Kind of like me, I'm a Devo. I'm the best at what I do. Ooh, she's Mrs. Perfect. I'm Mr. Perfect. Here we go. She's getting intense in the corner.
Wow. I did not think you'd compare yourself to Kurt Hennig today, but here we are.
Hey, I'm a Devo. It is what it is.
A Devo.
Yes, a Devo. Chantel's a diva. I'm a Devo. Proud of it, Peter.
Chantel in control right now over Mason Holiday. A lot of power packed into Chantel's small frame.
Yeah, she is, but you know what? She's an athlete. She's got leg strength, and right now she's working down Mason Holiday's arm. Not a bad plan.
Woo. I'll tell you what, though. Chantel she has something to her. Oof, as she sends Mason into the corner. There's a je ne sais quoi, a swagger about her when she walks in the building.
Excuse me? Well, I don't understand what you were just trying to say there.
The it factor. I'm talking about, pinfall. 1, 2, and Chantel kicks out.
And right back to the arm, see?
Yeah, that left arm of Mason Holiday is not feeling good.
No, she knows what she's doing in there. She's working on a body part. She's taking away one of her arms. She's not going to be able to paint after this.
Old school wrestling philosophy.
Here we go.
Pinfall 2 and a kick out from Mason.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Chantel goes viral from this match. She's been viral on social media numerous times. Anyone that takes a picture of it, it automatically becomes art. It always looks like a modeling picture, even when she's not trying. She's got it going on.
And my favorite thing about Chantel
is she's fly.
The flyness, of course, and she's from the she misses a knee right there, from the hometown of the greatest of all time. Yeah, Macho Man.
Sarasota, Florida. See, I even knew that.
There you go. Mason Holiday picking up some steam.
Masterpiece maker. Everything she creates is pure art, she says. That's what's happening now. Her arm hurts. She's still got it off.
Chantel looking more. And a pinfall here from Mason, too, and a kick out. Right now, Chantel looking more Lanny Poffo than Randy Poffo.
She's trying to get that 2-0 here in Evolve. Can she do it?
Don't know if she's getting Mason with the suplex, but again, back to the left arm.
Arm breaker, and now a schoolgirl.
Oh, Robert, Chantel's got the tights.
Here's your winner, Chantel Monroe.
I can't believe what I just saw. Chantel Monroe with a handful of tights to get the victory. She had hurt Mason's arm just enough that when combined with grabbing the tights, enough to score the victory.
Hey, all I know is that Chantel Monroe is still undefeated here in WWE Evolve.
You are looking at what could be one of the faces of the women's division.
Chantel, get over here, get over here, get over here. Make some noise for my girl Chantel Monroe one more time. Woo! That's already 2 victories. There's already 2 victories right here at Evolve. Congratulations.
Thank you, Chewy. 2 straight wins. I mean, are you surprised?
I'm not. No, I'm not. Are you surprised? Are you surprised?
Because I know I'm not. Because when I look at myself in the mirror, all I see is a winner. And do you know what winners do?
What do?
They win championships. And yes, I've been hearing the whispers about the Evolve Women's Championship, but you best believe Chantel Monroe, the reflection of perfection, will be the center of that title conversation.
All right. I'm scared of you. Okay.
And here we go. After a great match, the face-off is now Danny Palmer and Callie Armstrong.
Danny, what is you doing sitting up? Shouldn't you be on the ground like where I'm gonna leave you next week?
Hey, I know I misfired that dive.
You're her own partner!
That is not what she was looking to do.
And obviously it's disappointing to lose, and clearly we're not a good team, but isn't that why we're here? To evolve our talents?
Golly gee, Danny. Wasn't that inspirational? See, man, that's why I'm different. Because what you just described is a loser's mentality. A way for losers to convince themselves that they don't suck. So if you want to go learning from your mistakes, how about you do that when you're not attached to a partner that could actually win?
This is how you respond after every loss. You're gonna end up with a very short career and lots of enemies.
Thanks for the unsolicited advice, but no one asked for it. I've been doing perfectly fine, and I'm gonna continue to do perfectly fine as long as I'm not handcuffed to some poor excuse for a consolation prize like you.
I told you that, Danny! I know your type, Kelly. Reeks of insecurities. Trying to push all my buttons till you get a response. Relentlessly trying to get under my skin until I finally lash out. Well, you know what? It's not gonna work. I'm saving it all for the match, because your mouth is writing checks your skills can't cash.
It ain't even the 90s no more. Don't nobody write checks.
Right, I'll see you in the ring.
I got a check with
Meet
your
you
name
there.
on it. We gonna see about that.
I'll see you there.
Yeah, okay.
I'll see you there.
Bet.
Wow, that was intense. Danny Palmer and Callie Armstrong finally settle their differences next week. But coming up, one half of our big double main event, it's the tenacious Joe Coffey against the toughest nails Harlem Lewis next on WWE Evolve. Harlem Lewis looking for another big win on WWE Evolve.
Nothing pretty here, just the guy that enjoys fighting.
And we saw that he enjoys downright mauling people as well, as this was his first match and first win on Evolve 3 weeks ago. Braxton Cole wanted to have a sportsman's contest, but I think it turned out more like a man versus beast scenario. Harlem gets his first win that night. Now we will see if he can get his second, but to do so, he's got to take down Joe Coffey. I'll tell you what, those Gallus boys not to be played with, Robert Stone.
No, they are not, as we saw 2 weeks ago in tag team action.
Joe and his brother Mark taking on Jordan Oasis and Sam Holloway. Not only are they crafty, as you see Wolfgang tying up the attention of Holloway, but they're vicious. As Joe Coffey able to clock Oasis and score a knockout referee stoppage. Joe Coffey left a mark on Jordan's face and an even bigger mark on his resume that night.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is your co-main event. Introducing first, from Lindenhurst, New York, weighing 250 pounds, Harlem Lewis. And his opponent, from Glasgow, Scotland, weighing 240 pounds, representing Gallus, Joe Coffey!
Well, the people have decided they are booing Harlem Lewis. That decision has been made. I'll tell you what, there's something about hearing Glasgow, Scotland against Lindenhurst, New York that makes Glasgow sound particularly tough.
Did you see right there, though? He already went for the southpaw jigs. He went for that lefty shot. Tried to catch him with it early.
Harlem Lewis with his hands full against Big Joe Coffey. But guess what? Harlem Lewis, nothing to be messing with either, man.
I mean, it's 2 men, 1 ring, and the understanding that whoever wins this match is going to be a big-time player in Evolve.
Remember, you absolutely never know who's going to win in Evolve. Big takedown there from Joe Coffey. We saw Sean Legacy score that upset over Timothy Thatcher last week. This week, Keanu Carver takes out Luca Crucifino of the family.
And like right now, we just have that main event feel. And let me tell you something. Joe Coffey has been here before. He has main evented NXT UK TakeOver. He's been here before. He's used to main event pressure. Harlem Lewis is not.
Oof, the question is, does Harlem Lewis have enough experience to figure out how to survive? Whoa!
He's got enough strength.
My God.
He held on to him.
He held on.
Doesn't have to look pretty.
By hook or by crook. Wow.
Up, up. Oh, right on the throat of Joe.
Man, oh man, Harlem Lewis showing the strength early on. It looks like he can hang.
He's a brawler, he's a scrapper, he's a tough guy, he's a street fighter.
Think about what it would mean for Harlem Lewis at this stage to score a win over Joe Coffey of Gallus.
I mean, you can see anything can happen in Evolve. I mean, this is a guy who's just raw. He goes to the gym and he throws weight around. He's got that raw strength. The first ever fight he was in 4th grade. He won, and it was against an 8th grader, Peter. An 8th grader.
And by the way, that's amazing because you couldn't beat an 8th grader now.
I mean, hey, you know what? You're probably right.
Pinfall, 1, 2, and just about 1.5. Another pinfall.
Going for the cover multiple times here. Every kick out spends energy, Peter. I mean, that's not a bad strategy.
I don't care who it is in this thing. They gonna worry about me.
Hear that? He doesn't care, Peter.
Harlem is fighting, he's talking, and right now he's getting it done against Joe Coffey.
Some fight for glory, some fight for survival. Harlem fights because it is in his blood, man. Look at the colors, it's red, it's in his blood.
Are you suggesting that because...
No, don't go there.
No, that's not what I meant. I wasn't going there. Or that oh, man, Harlem Lewis is going to work on Joe Coffey. Boom! Suplex.
Well, Caddy gained some momentum here.
But don't forget, by the way, impressive athletic career from Harlem Lewis before he made it to the WWE ID program. Former linebacker in college. Joe Coffey, on the other hand, a brawler from Glasgow.
And right now he's rolling. Steel may bend, but a Scotsman won't.
Big shoulder blocks from Joe Coffey. Ooh, some high flying from Joe Coffey. He's feeling it.
Love it.
And the crowd here at Evolve feeling it as well. Harlem Lewis has lost his way. He's seeing Lindenhurst right now.
Glasgow send off.
Oh, man, if you are Harlem Lewis, you got to find a way to get some air. And he may not get it right now. Big man's going up! 1, 2. Harlem Lewis kicking out.
Joe Coffey loves competition. He has been here before. He has been in main events. He has wrestled Pete Dunne, Ilya Dragunov, Gunther, Hall of Famer Kurt Angle. He's ready!
And both men over the top and down to the floor. My God! Joe Coffey right in front of us at the announce table. Harlem Lewis down as well. Both men went over the top, bounced off the ring apron.
Both guys are tired, as they should be. This is a hard-hitting match, but look at Joe. Look at Joe.
He likes it. Oh, forearms being exchanged, one and another.
This is just a fight. He's going for it. Oh my God.
Oh, good God. Joe Coffey just punched the ring post.
Oh, that is not good, man.
But Harlem Lewis is in a way outside the ring at a 6 count. He'll make his way back in. But Joe Coffey's a wounded animal right now, Robert.
He is handless. He's got to use his head. Oh, look, you can see his hand.
Oh, he may not have a lot left to do with that hand. Oh, no.
That is not good.
Harlem Lewis going to work now. He spotted a weakness. He's going for the kill.
Oh, and he got him over.
Pinfall, 1, 2, 3.
Here's your winner, Harlem Lewis.
Unbelievable. Last week, you see Sean Legacy get the upset over Thatcher. Earlier this week, Carver gets the win over Crucifino. And now Harlem Lewis has taken out Joe Coffey of Gallus. This was a match of major risks. Because after that, you have the attempted left hand that ends up smashing the ring post. And that is really the beginning of the end for Joe Coffey. And as you can see, lights out. After the left hand injury, Harlem Lewis does what he has to do and gets himself a big win.
Hands down the biggest win of his career so far. I mean, I gotta give it to him. It was impressive.
Listen up, Stevie. How about that, huh? You wanted to see something impressive? How about Harlem Lewis, huh? How about Harlem Lewis?
Absolutely unbelievable. Coming up next, the other half of our co-main event. It is going to be something when Wendy Choo gets in the ring with Kylie Ray next on WWE Evolve.
An absolutely incredible scene. This is what World Wrestling Entertainment is all about.
WWE Clash in Paris, Sunday, August 31st. Scan the code now to register for an exclusive pre-sale opportunity.
There she is. Kylie Rae, one of the more decorated wrestlers in the WWE ID program. She's done it all over the world. TNA, NWA. Here she is in WWE Evolve.
This is I'm always happy, but the question is she too happy?
Question maybe, is she too scared tonight? Because Wendy Choo has been a lot. This has been going on for a while now. The bizarro ways of Wendy Choo. The blanket, the bear, the note, those eyes. You talked about Keanu Carver's eyes earlier. But what's going on with Wendy Choo?
I don't know.
Who's home there?
I'm looking the other way, so I don't know. I mean, she's the gatekeeper of Evolve. She's the real-life Chucky doll, the dream killer, the sleep demon, the sleepy psycho, someone that I know I do not want to have any part of.
That is absolute facts. I mean, what is going on? She is respectfully a lunatic.
She is. Kylie is too, but they both are.
See, Kylie is not a lunatic.
People that are happy all the time aren't right. They're lunatics.
No,
Peter.
Kylie is she's a positive person. She's worked very hard in this business to make her way here to WWE Evolve.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is your main event! Introducing first, from Chicago, Illinois, Kylie Rae! And her opponent, from the city that never sleeps, Wendy Choo!
Well, here we go. Second half of your main event on WWE Evolve. Peter Rosenberg, Robert Stone ringside. And this has been weeks in the making.
What do we got going on here?
Kylie Rae. See, here's the thing. You can say what you want about her being overly happy, overly positive, but let's talk about the fundamentals she has in the ring.
Why don't we talk about the mind games that Wendy Choo is playing with Kylie? Did you see that handshake thing that was just going on? I mean, clearly she is getting in Kylie's head, and I think it's working.
Kylie Rae has been around the world and in the ring for some time now, and so has Wendy Choo, though.
Yeah, I mean, let's look at Wendy's past. I mean, she's challenged for every woman's title in NXT and TNA wrestling, and she's never won any of them. So what do you think that did? That made her even more mad, which makes her more scarier.
More scarier?
More scarier, whatever. Tomato. Peter, you understood what I said.
Well, you said Kane University, right?
Kane University, physical education and health. You're messing me all up here. Here we go.
Big shoulder block there from Wendy Choo. I'll say, though, Kylie Rae doesn't seem scared right now. She seems like she knows where she's at.
She's not showing it on her face, but I don't know. Look at what's going on right here.
Oh, boy.
More mind games. She is trying to get in Kylie's head. I'm telling you, it's working.
Yeah,
Good versus evil.
No, I can't do it. I can't do it. This is freaking me out.
Run.
Into the ropes. Kylie Rae working up some steam, and she'll look at that. There's the athleticism. Oh, but a kick is caught by Wendy Choo. And there is that face again. Kylie's got to keep moving. That seems to be the plan.
Woo!
I like this plan.
Okay, it's working. She's taking Wendy off her feet. She's rocking and rolling.
Action, action, action. Keep going, Kylie.
She's joyful, jovial, cheerful. Here we go.
Looking for the kick, and nope.
Bye-bye.
Instead, boy. Ow. And Wendy Choo with ferocious punches through the ropes to the back of the head, and that kick to the back. Was that a knee or a kick to the back of Kylie Rae?
Whatever it was, Kylie is hurt. She is in a bad place right now.
Oh my God, and look at that creepy crawl from Wendy Choo.
Let's not forget how skilled Wendy is in the ring. She was trained by one of my best friends, Damian Adams. She knows what she's doing when she's in there. Look at her. Look at the body control she has over Kylie.
Big boot there from Wendy Choo. Looking for more. Ow! What the hell is that?
I don't want to know, but Kylie is in pain.
I've never seen that.
Wendy is happy.
I've never seen that version of a neck breaker, I don't think, in my life.
Well, you know, Kylie's retired once before. She stepped away from professional wrestling. After this match, the same thing might happen again. I hope not, but oof.
It sounds like you're rooting for that because you're a bad guy. Wendy Choo going to work with a big boot upstairs on Kylie Rae, who's in a world of bad right now. This has been, and Wendy Choo's going to try to end it. 1, 2, and a kick out from Kylie Rae. This has been a rough few weeks for Kylie, dealing with the weirdness, the intimidation factor, the mind games from Wendy Choo, and now she finds herself on a tough end of things in this matchup.
Yeah, no doubt about it. She has not been sleeping well at night. She's been having nightmares. She's been having the locker window. If she hears a noise, she probably freaks out. So she's in this match right now, not 100% herself.
Well, she gets an elbow in there and then a kick. Maybe she can get some breathing room. Clothesline. Yeah, no. She's been living an American Horror Story over the last many weeks with Wendy Choo. Ooh! I know you only watch reality shows, but American Horror Story is a television show about creepy, weird things. You know what? Don't worry about it. Pinfall, 1, 2, and a kick out. All right, Kylie Rae finding her legs now, getting on the offensive side of things in our main event.
She's got to keep it rolling.
Again, one of the many cool things about WWE Evolve, seeing these superstars with different paths to get here, but both of them have worked so hard to make it to Evolve. Pin, 1, 2, and a kick out from Wendy. Missed clothesline there for Kylie, and now...
Oh, she's trying to get it in the dirt now.
Kylie Rae finds the ropes and will get a break. Or maybe not.
Oh! Ooh, nasty landing, man, nasty.
That could not feel good on the neck and shoulder area of Kylie Rae. Wendy Choo is feeling it. She's going for more.
But she's still alive.
Kylie Rae fighting to hang on. From the top rope, arm drag.
Sky Day special!
Oof. Man, you could hear that from over here.
Don't take time, go for the cover, Kylie. Oh boy. Run, run.
Okay, that should do it. Another one, and the pin.
The crossface, she's got the crossface locked in. She has got the crossface locked in,
Could
Peter.
Kylie Rae win by submission? Wendy Choo is in trouble.
Is Wendy gonna tap?
Oh, Robert, how long can you hang on in this position? This may be the scariest thing I've seen yet. She's not giving up.
She rolled it over.
2, turns it into a pinfall. Kylie Rae kicks out. Big right hand sends Wendy Choo back to her knees. Kylie going to the second rope.
She caught her. She caught her.
Uh-oh.
Oh, full Nelson slam.
And that turns the tables quite a bit for Wendy Choo.
Is she gonna lock it in? She's locking it. The dirt nap. The dirt nap. There's nowhere to go.
Kylie's in trouble. She's in the middle of the ring. I do not think she can escape it. It's cinched in pretty good from Wendy Choo, and she's out.
Here's your winner, Wendy Choo!
All right, let's look back now. Kylie Rae seemingly overcoming the fear, that dread of Wendy Choo, but that was just a victory for her, so to speak. Unfortunately, not the one she was looking for. The savvy sleep demon, one step ahead there, planting Kylie with the full Nelson slam, and then the dirt nap. Wendy Choo gets another win tonight on Evolve.